please check the bids. By Tony Angelo. You step into the grand community hall, the scent of grilling hot dogs and sugary carnival treats hitting you first, a nostalgic punch of childhood summers. The air thrummed with boisterous laughter and the tinny strains of patriotic tunes from a portable speaker. Banners proclaiming, "Support your local heroes," draped haphazardly from the rafters, and red and white streamers fought a losing battle with the ceiling fans. It's the annual fire department fundraiser, a pillar of your small town, and you're here, ready to mingle, to eat, and perhaps to forget. You spot Betty Jane almost immediately, a beacon of bright floral patterns in a crowd of denim and flannel. She's standing by the raffle table, a half-eaten corn dog in one hand, a bundle of tickets clutched in the other, her brow furrowed in concentration. "Oh, darling," she calls out, catching your eye, a wide, slightly bewildered smile blooming on her face. "Have you seen my purse? I swear I put it right here." She gestures vaguely at the empty space beside her, then at the bustling table. "Or did I already get my raffle tickets? Goodness, I do hope I haven't missed the big draw." You recognize the familiar refrain. Just yesterday, Betty Jane asked you 3 times if you'd heard about the cat that got stuck in the old oak tree, a story she told you the first time. You smile back, a practiced, gentle smile. "I think you just handed them to Jonathan Carl, Betty Jane," you say, pointing to the burly, red-faced volunteer who is currently wrestling with a roll of raffle tickets, his patience a testament to years of firefighting and community service. "And your purse. I saw it next to the coffee urn, by the bake sale." Betty Jane blinks, her eyes following your finger, then slowly turning a full circle. "The bake sale, you say? Well, thank heavens, wouldn't want to lose my lucky nickel for the pie auction." She pats her non-existent purse, then clutches the corn dog firmer. You watch her wander off, heading directly towards the bouncy castle, a good 30 feet in the opposite direction of the bake sale. You make a mental note to discreetly retrieve her purse later. This is your world, you realize, a world where blessings manifest in a peculiar way. You are surrounded by people who are blessed without remembering. They live in a perpetual state of soft rediscovery, their minds a constantly refreshed canvas, each moment holding the potential for novel delight or mild, transient confusion. And then there are others, like Jonathan Carl and his patient crew, who are blessed in a different way. They take without forgetting. They remember every little detail, every misplaced item, every repeated question, and they quietly, efficiently, gently guide the others through the delightful labyrinth of their day. You weave through the crowd, careful to avoid the charging children high on sugar and the unyielding gazes of people trying to sell you home insurance. You spot Alice by the silent auction table, her usually meticulous silver hair a bit disheveled. She's holding up a ceramic cat figurine, turning it over and over. "Isn't this just darling?" she asks the person next to her, a young man who looks distinctly uncomfortable. "My grandson, Timothy, he just adores cats. I should get this for him. Oh, but what's his name again, the eldest one? It's on the tip of my tongue." The young man mumbles something about a silent auction, clearly trying to edge away. You step in. "Alice, that's a lovely thought. Your grandson's name is Sam, isn't it? And you already bid on that one, remember? You put your name down just 10 minutes ago for $50. Alice looks at you, then at the card, then back at you. Her face clears. $50? Oh, gracious, that much for a cat? Well, I suppose Sam does love his cats. She beams, entirely forgetting she had just forgotten his name, or that she had already committed to the bid. Her joy is pure, an unblemished enthusiasm for a gift she's about to give, even if she's already given it, and forgotten the name of the recipient. You can't help but smile, too. It's infectious, this innocent, unburdened happiness. A sudden shriek draws your attention to the dunk tank. Samantha, known for her vibrant outfits and even more vibrant personality, is standing there, dripping wet, her carefully coiffed hair now plastered to her head. Next to her, a perplexed-looking firefighter is trying to hand her a towel. "But I just paid," Samantha exclaims, her voice carrying over the crowd. "Didn't I just hand you $20, young man? For 3 throws? I only had 1. This is outrageous." The firefighter, bless his heart, tries to explain. "Ma'am, you've been through the dunk tank 3 times now. Each time you paid, threw, and then said you wanted a refund because you only had 1 throw, then you paid again. Your last 20 covered this dunk." Samantha squints at him. Did I really? Oh well, she shrugs, a grin spreading across her face. Suppose I just enjoy the splash. You're getting my money's worth anyway. Now, about that raffle. Did I buy any tickets? She glances around, her eyes landing on the raffle table where Betty Jane had been, then on you. Oh, hello, darling. Did you see my purse? I swear I put it right here. You suppress a laugh. Samantha, like Betty Jane, has a knack for repeating questions within minutes, sometimes seconds. Her pocketbook, you know, is currently on top of the dessert table, having been placed there when she decided to help Artie arrange the lemon meringue pies. This is the beauty and the gentle chaos of your community. You find yourself navigating this benevolent fog every day. You might find your keys in the refrigerator, or wonder if you've already had breakfast. You usually have, twice. You might lose your way on the familiar path to the grocery store, or struggle to keep up with the thread of a conversation that seems to have jumped several hoops without your knowledge. But in this shared space, it's not a burden. It's just life. A slightly more interesting, always surprising life. Jonathan Carl, true to his nature, appears with a megaphone, his voice booming over the festivities. All right, folks, 5 minutes until the pie auction. Last chance to bid on those delicious homemade treats. And a quick reminder, the silent auction closes in 30 minutes. Please check your bids. A collective murmur rises. You see Artie, a gruff but kind man who meticulously manages the financials for the fire department, sigh dramatically from his perch at the donation booth. He's the epitome of taking without forgetting. He remembers every donation, every expense, every promised contribution. He remembers what Betty Jane bid on last year's pie auction, a particularly dense fruitcake she promptly forgot she won, and what Samantha's usual donation amount is, always slightly over due to her charming payment confusion. You decide to head towards the pie auction, hoping to snag a slice of Evelyn Henderson's famous apple pie. As you pass the craft table, you see a small, plump hand reach out and discreetly tuck a sparkly handmade bookmark into the pocket of a child's backpack, its owner totally oblivious. That would be Artie, the quiet benefactor, remembering the child's wistful glance at the item earlier. He takes joy in these small acts of remembrance. You find Betty Jane by the pie auction, mesmerized by the array of sugary delights. Her corn dog is thankfully gone, replaced by a half-empty cup of lemonade. These look delicious, don't they, dear? She asks you, her eyes wide. I just can't decide. Did I tell you about the time I baked a dozen pies for the bake sale and then forgot to bring them? She giggles, a sound like wind chimes. Jonathan Carl was so cross, bless his heart. He had to run to the grocery store himself. You smile. She's told you that story twice already today and 3 times yesterday. It's a good story, you think, full of Betty Jane's endearing absent-mindedness and Jonathan Carl's unwavering dedication. Suddenly, a voice pipes up. $50 for the cherry pie. It's Samantha, miraculously dry again, her hair still slightly damp but her spirit undimmed. She's holding up a paddle, completely oblivious to the fact that she's bidding against herself. Artie, from the side, clears his throat. Samantha, dear, you already bid that. Your last bid just a minute ago was $55. Samantha blinks. It was? Oh well, make it $60 then. Can't have anyone else getting my cherry pie. She winks at you. I just love a good cherry pie, don't you? Did I tell you about the time I baked so many pies I forgot to bring them to the bake sale? You nod, playing along. The auctioneer, an exasperated young firefighter named Kevin, bangs his gavel. $60 to Samantha? Sold. He looks at Artie with a helpless expression, who merely gives a slight shrug, a wry smile touching his lips. It's just another Tuesday for them. They take the confusion, the repeated questions, the delightful chaos, and they make it work. They remember what's needed, what's been done, and what's about to be forgotten, and they gently steer the ship. As the auction continues, you watch Alice wander over, her eyes fixated on a particularly magnificent lemon meringue. Oh, that reminds me, she exclaims, turning to a stranger. My grandson Timothy just adores lemon meringue. I must get this for him. You hear the faint, exasperated sigh of Artie, who is now trying to explain to Samantha that she cannot pay for her cherry pie with the $20 bill she just tried to pay for the dunk tank with. Again. This is the rhythm of your community, you realize. A beautiful, slightly off-kilter dance. You and many like you are blessed with a certain lightness of being. The burden of too many memories, too many past mistakes, too much baggage simply doesn't stick. Each moment is fresh, each encounter potentially new. The world offers a continuous stream of minor revelations and humorous rediscoveries. Later, as the sun begins to set, casting long golden shadows across the hall, the energy shifts. The raffles are drawn. Miraculously, Betty Jane wins the grand prize, a weekend getaway package. She beams, clutching the certificate, her eyes still holding a hint of uncertainty, as if she's not quite sure if it's real, or if she already won it last year. "Oh, darling, isn't this wonderful?" she asks you, her voice full of genuine delight. "A trip. I do hope I haven't missed the big draw." Jonathan Carl gently guides her to the stage, explaining the details. You see him lean down and speak softly to her, probably reminding her where she lives and how to pack a bag. He and his crew, along with Artie and Sam, who somehow managed to keep track of every raffle ticket and every bid, are the anchors. They are the ones who remember the blessings, who quietly collect the scattered pieces, and who ensure that the good intentions and generous spirits of those who forget still bear fruit. As the crowd thins, you find yourself helping clear tables. You stumble upon Betty Jane's purse, nestled amongst the leftover hot dog buns on the refreshment table. You also discover Samantha's wallet, tucked neatly inside a child's cowboy boot near the bouncy castle. You discreetly return them to Artie, who simply nods, a familiar, knowing glint in his eye. He'll find their owners and gently remind them where they put their belongings, or where they said they did. You walk out into the cool evening air, the sound of the last remaining stragglers fading behind you. The fireflies are beginning to wink in the darkening fields, tiny ephemeral lights against the vast canvas of the night. You feel a lightness, a gentle hum of contentment. Perhaps this is the truest blessing of all. To live a life where the small annoyances of memory loss are overshadowed by perpetual wonder, by the constant rediscovery of joy, and by the unwavering, patient kindness of those who remember for you. And for those who remember, the blessing is in the quiet act of taking care, of holding the threads together, of witnessing the innocent delight that springs anew with each forgotten moment. You decide to take a shortcut home, a path you've walked 1,000 times. But as you turn the corner by the old oak tree, where Betty Jane's cat story always begins, you pause. Which way was it again? Left or right? You chuckle softly. Maybe it doesn't matter. You'll get there eventually. And if not, someone will surely remember where you live and gently guide you home. That, you realize, is a blessing worth remembering, or at least worth experiencing anew.